Next is a class thread. So as a built-in class is there in Java, we have already used it, but let us learn about it. So there are a few methods I have to discuss about them in little detail. Let us look at some most commonly used methods in a thread class. Now here you remember one thing. Whenever you are learning about any class in Java or in any other object-oriented programming language, you should know about its constructors. Then get set methods. This is a common practice in Java. Get methods and setter methods are there, and other methods which are commonly used. So studying a class or knowing about a class, you should know about its methods. So let us learn about thread class or class thread. So first of all, constructors. So you can create an object of a thread class or any class which is inheriting from thread class. You can create the object. So this is the default constructor. Nothing is given. Nothing is given. Just an empty constructor. But whenever a thread is created, it will get some ID by JRE, runtime environment, or JVM will give some ID. And you can also mention some names, so you can identify threads with their names. So let us see the next constructor. There is one more constructor where you can pass a class which is implementing a runnable interface. So this also we have seen it. I have used a runnable interface and have created an object of a thread. I told you that if a class is implementing runnable, it cannot run by itself, it needs a thread. So you are creating an object of a thread and giving a class with a runnable interface. So this is runnable, it is taking a reference of runnable interface. That is the second method of achieving multi-threading. Now next is a runnable interface as well as a string. You can mention the name of a thread, name of a thread. Now same way, as it is a default non-parameterized constructor, there is one more constructor that just takes a name. You can just mention the name of a thread. You can give some name. Next, so I have finished this one and this one. Now I have written just now this one, then this is over. This one, let us look at this constructor. Now for this I have to explain you something. See, you can also have the group of threads. So you can make a group, thread group. So you can create an object of thread group and you can include all the threads in that group so that you can manage all the threads together. Like suppose, example, animation with the bubbles or balloons are moving. You can stop all of them if they are belonging to same group. Or if a user is pausing that animation or game, then you can stop all the things together. So if you put the things in a group, you can manage all of them together. So we'll see this thread group also in an example. I will explain you what is thread group. I will give a demo. So you can mention a thread group if you are having a thread group, and also you can give name. So along with thread group also there are different constructors. I did not write all the constructors. Just I have shown you few, right? That are useful one. So these are constructor. Now let us look at other methods. Next set of methods are get x-axis and set x-axis method, that is getter and setter methods. So here I have get methods. So I'll read out. These are simple. Get ID. You can know the ID of a thread, like every thread will have some ID given by JVM. Then get name. If you have mentioned the name, you will get the name. Right? It's a string. Get a priority. So you can know the priority, the current priority of a thread, and also you can set the priority. So you can know the priority, and the priority is an integer value. You know, I have already shown you that is min, max, and normal. So you get any one of those or whatever the value it is. Then get states. State are also defined just like those priorities. So you can get the state of a thread. We have already seen what are the states of a thread, right? Ready, new, and running, and blocked. So that state you can know. And thread group, to which group it belongs, you'll get the reference of type that thread group. These are get methods. Now, everything you cannot set it directly, so by using set method. So there are few set methods. You can set the name of a thread. You cannot set the ID, right? So set ID is not there. It is given by JVM. And set priority, you can set the priority. The next is set daemon. So what is a daemon thread? A daemon thread is background thread with least priority. It works in the background, doesn't have any user interaction. It works in the background and it is of least priority. So example, best example is a garbage collector. Garbage collector which runs inside JVM is a daemon thread and it will run time to time. So that is one of the example of daemon thread. Now from the examples which I gave you, like in MS Word autosave option, if it is acting as a thread, then it should be a daemon thread. It's having least priority. So in your application, you can set the threads as daemon also. So just you have to pass true or false, right? Set it as daemon or not. So you can set it as true or false. Now next are the inquiry method. So inquiry means they will return true or false. They return true or false. And these are common things in Java classes. And their name starts with the letter is. So here you can see is alive. So return true or false, whether the thread is still alive or it has finished, terminated finally. And is a daemon, is the thread is acting as a daemon thread. So you have set it true, then this will give you true. Otherwise it will give false. So is it a daemon thread? Now next thing, is interrupted. Is interrupted. Is a thread interrupted or not? So there is a method called interrupt. So you can interrupt the thread. So what for? You can ask the thread to stop whatever it is doing and continue the rest of the work or terminate. So whatever it is doing now, you can interrupt it. You can interrupt. For example, if a thread is waiting, you can interrupt it and stop it from waiting. If a thread is sleeping, you can interrupt it and stop it from sleeping. So that's what a thread can be interrupted by some other thread, or it can interrupt itself. So interrupt. So you can know whether the thread is interrupted or not. So we'll see the demo for all these things. So these are the methods. I'll use them and show you in the demonstration. Now next, let us look at the remaining important methods of a thread class. Next are the instance method. So we saw constructors, getter and setter methods, and inquiry methods. Now these are much useful methods that are instance method, and also I have static methods. So let us look at instance method. I told you just now, I told you that a thread can be interrupted. So by calling the method interrupt, a thread can be interrupted. Means whatever it is doing, it will stop that. So mostly in case of waiting or sleeping, it is done. It can interrupt itself or it can be interrupted by other threads. The next one, join. Now this is interesting. If a thread has finished its job, finished its task, now it will get terminated. It will get terminated. So instead of getting terminated, it can wait for other threads to complete. It can wait for other threads to complete. So it can call the join method for those threads and it can wait for them. So like we have seen main method, main method starts all other threads. We have seen the program. So we have seen a main method is starting a thread. So if main method has finished, suppose, but that thread is still running, then main thread terminates means program terminates. So main should wait for that thread to complete the other thread which it has started. Suppose it has called t.start, some method. So this t is some thread, so it is running. So main should join with that one and wait for that thread to complete. So this is how it is useful. See, the termination of one thread may not cause the termination of an application. So you can make that main thread wait. So it will join with other thread. Now there are two versions of join. It can join until it has finished, or it can join for some time. For few milliseconds, you can make it join for the other threads. If you know that in this much time it will finish, so you can mention milliseconds also. So we have finished these, right? Now run and start, we have already used this. See, start method, I'll first talk about this. This method knows how to run a thread. So this is having actually multi-threading mechanism. Already I have told you this one. And the run method, we should override this method. So already I have shown you this. We have used this one and written a multi-threaded program. So run method will have the actual functionality of a thread. So these are important methods. Now static method. So static methods can be called just by using class name. So you can use the class name and call them. First one, active count. So it will tell how many threads are active in a group active count. So it will give how many threads are active in a group, the first one. Then second one, it will give a reference to a current thread. So you can get the reference of a current thread, the running thread. Current thread, if you say, you get the reference. The next, yield. So this is an interesting one. See, we have seen threads with a different priority. So if a thread 1 is having priority 10 and thread 2 is having priority 4, this thread is having higher priority. Thread 2 is having lower priority. So we have already seen the priorities. So the higher priority thread may be running for a longer time and next thread is not getting a chance. It may happen. So that situation is called as starvation. It is called as starvation. So if one thread is having higher priority, other threads are of lower priority, then most of the CPU time is consumed by higher priority thread only. It may happen, right? Already we have discussed in that is priorities. So it may happen. If it is happening so, the other threads will be waiting for a long time, and that situation is called as starvation. So now whose responsibility is to take care of them also? This thread can do that. So in your application, if you feel that one of the higher priority thread is there and you want it to hold for some time so that the other lower priority thread should also get some time. So this thread can yield. It gives an indication to JVM or scheduler that you can hold me for a while and you can complete the other priority threads if any thread is waiting for CPU time from long time. It gives a hint to a scheduler. So scheduler may hold it for some time and execute lower priority threads. So for example, if you are at a restaurant and you are making a bigger order, right? And you are giving the items, just you are giving the list of items one by one, and somebody is waiting for a long time and he has to buy just a cool drink or water, then you can ask him that first finish him, then continue mine. So that's what you are giving a hint to the salesman that yield means I am ready to wait for some time. You can finish with this guy who is having lower priority now because he's standing behind me. He just want water, so you just can hand over water and you can continue serving me. So that's what thread 1 can do that in case of other threads with lower priority. So by calling this method yield, this is a static method. I did not write static here, all are static only. So yield, it can give an indication that I am ready to wait. You can serve others meanwhile. And the last one is dump stack. So dump stack means the stack of an application, which method called which method and so on, and how the thread is called. So you can know the stack content. So you can know the depth of the method calls, right? This we have already seen in exception handling. Where the exception is caused, you can know the method, exact location, and how the method was called, you can know the sequence of method calls also. So the same thing you can get here also. So that's all about the methods. In the demonstration, I will use these methods and show you. Then you will have some practice session. You can practice those programs.